there's
that part.
that.
What's your list?
My top 10 list is number 10, Steve Harvey. No. I'm sorry, I'm missing Kevin Hart. Number 10 is Kevin Hart.
Steve Harvey made your list?
Steve Harvey is number 9.
Come on, man.
Whoopi Goldberg is number 8. Bernie Mac, number 7. Bill Cosby, number 6. Red Fox, number 5. Chris Rock, number 4. Dave Chappelle, number 3. Eddie Murphy, number 2. And Richard Pryor, number 1.
So your list is an all-time list.
My list is an all-time list.
Yeah, mine is just those in 2020.
And then honorable mention is Wanda Sykes, Chris Tucker, Monique, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley.
Monique, when she get on, she's more bitter.
She is now. At first, she wasn't. She was funnier before she got bitter. So I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
But D.L. Hughley, Tracy Morgan, Arsenio Hall, Cat Williams, and
Tracy Morgan is mid. He'll get a couple of chuckles.
Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah. But what did I tell you? They say that you know how good a comedian is if you know one of their signature jokes. Okay? Mm-hmm. And Corey Holcomb then was talking about that. Shout out to the 5150 Club show. And they had made that statement because though I know a lot of Corey Holcomb's jokes, my favorite joke, like I told Jackie yesterday, my favorite Corey Holcomb joke is Corey Holcomb said he took one of his chicks to the abortion clinic. So he said he came back to pick her up, right? And she was all sad and despondent and whatnot. So she got in the car. He was playing rap music. And she told him, turn that shit off. Don't nobody want to hear about killers and shit. Corey Holcomb said, I turned to her. He said, bitch, you the only murderer in the car. Okay. She just came from the abortion clinic. That shit was hysterical to me.
But some of the most funniest comedians have died prematurely. I mean, because if you think about Robin Harris
was hysterical.
Ralphie May.
Oh, Ralphie May was my favorite white comedian. Now my favorite white comedian is Bill Burr.
Yeah, I mean, and then what was that guy's name that used to do the Jamaican jokes, the New York guy?
Yes.
I can't. Patrice Harris?
No, Patrice O'Neal. He went prematurely. No, this guy is Rashad. He was on Martin Lawrence's or P. Diddy's deal. I'll throw him up real quick right here.
Yes.
Yeah, that old boy was hysterical. Please go check.
But there was a lot of them. It's like the funny ones. It's like the funny ones are the ones that's gone. Because now, before he passed away, Bernie Mac was my all-time favorite. Bernie Mac was mine. Was just funny to me. Like when they did the Kings of Comedy and all of that, to me, out of the 4, he was the funniest. It's like he should have went last every time because Bernie was just naturally funny regardless. That's what Cat was
saying. That's why they moved Steve to host. He said because by the time Steve Harvey came on last following Bernie Mac,
people had left.
He said people was already in their already gone home, going to get something to eat or going to the club or whatever. So what did you think about the interview?
I thought the interview was great. I actually sit there and was engaged the entire 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
And most people won't watch no 2 hour and 45-minute damn podcast.
And when I read the comments, some people were like they had watched it in its entirety 2, 3, 4 times. Somebody even said they were on their 6th time looking at it.
I watched the interview and then I watched a lot of the shorts. And then you and I watched Nightcap with him and Ocho Cinco.
And that was long, too.
Yep, 2 hours and something where they broke it down so far as the interview and whatnot.
And almost 2 million people had watched it when we looked at it. Yep, so it's also going viral.
Yep. So the interview was deep.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
And let me tell you something about Shannon Sharp before we continue with the Club Shay Shay Cat Williams interview. I used to be a Skip Bayless fan. Skip Bayless used to write for the Dallas Morning News and the Dallas Times Herald here in Dallas, Texas. when he was a sports writer is when I first got into Skip before he made it to TV in the 80s and 90s. Now, since leaving Fox Sports because of Skip Bayless's ego, Shannon Sharpe has joined ESPN's First Take with Stephen A. Smith. He started Nightcap with Ocho Cinco, called Unc and Ocho Cinco, which now has 612,000 subs in 4 months. They started in October with that one.
Their goal is 1 million. They're trying to hit 1 million in February or March.
They sold out the Club Shay Shay Cognac.
Yes.
And while him and Ocho Cinco was doing the show, he told the people to go and buy the cigars from Ocho.
Right.
That shit sold out in 10 minutes.
Yep.
That's how much clout this dude has. Shannon Sharpe has been named the #1 most entertaining sports media personality by Complex, whoever the hell that is. And just had the biggest interview of his career with Club Shay Shay, with Cat Williams' interview. Says 23.9, but I looked it up before we came on. It's at 31 million views.
That's going to be the biggest
than 5 days
of the year for 2024.
Club Shay Shay has 1.5 million subs at the time of this post. When one door closes, 5 more will open. In Shannon Sharpe's voice, thank you, Skip Bayless.
But now there are some little known facts that people don't really know about Cat. And some of this has been confirmed and verified. He read fluently at the age of 3.
Yeah.
He was a member of Mensa. He's been a member of Mensa since the age of 10.
If you don't know what Mensa is, then your ass ain't a member.
It's an organization involving genius-level individuals. He spoke multiple languages as a child.
But I never heard him speak another language. Therefore, suspect.
He received a full scholarship to the National Science Academy in Ohio.
But they say he didn't
at the age of 12. He actually deliberately failed it because he saw them in all of these white coat jackets, and he was saying that they weren't having any fun, and he just knew in his mind that that's not what he wanted to do.
Okay.
So at the age of 13 is when he was supposed to have been going to this institute, but again, he failed the exams that he needed to take to get him in. And so at the age of 13,
I can understand that.
And at the age of 13, that's when he decided that he could no longer live in the household with his parents, who were Jehovah's Witness, and he could not live
like Michael
as
Jackson's
a Jehovah's
family.
Witness any longer because he did not necessarily agree with that. So he got his puppy, his luggage,
his Rockweiler
and he
puppy.
went to a truck stop, and he said it was 2 trucks there, and he asked the one guy where he going, and the guy said to California, and the other guy said he was going to Miami. And so he said that he got in the back of this man's truck with his luggage and his puppy, and he went to Florida, to Miami. And how he got a buy is that he was stealing radios out of people's cars, and he claimed he was making,
And I don't see that. Now, he was born in 71 or 72. Mm-hmm. And the thing with you stealing car radios, I can understand. I had a buddy who was very proficient.
He was born in 71 in September 2nd.
71. Mm-hmm. My little brother was born 69. Okay, so my little brother is 54, Cat's 52. Mm-hmm. So in the 70s is when they were growing up. Now, if he went out on his own, that was in the 80s. But still, how did you have the time to steal that many car radios? And who the hell were you selling them to? Because me and my buddy, we was vacuuming cars out at this place. This guy had a Mitsubishi contract. Mm-hmm. So when they repossessed your car, this guy took it in. Me and my boy's job was to vacuum it out. We got $1 a car, but it was a lot of damn cars. Mm-hmm. And then it would go down the line to the next people who washed it, down the line to the next people who waxed it, to the next people who checked the fluids, and then out on the lot and the cars went back to the bank. Mm-hmm. Now, when the cars came in, I would cover for my boy. He'd go in there because these were aftermarket radios. Now, if you run it around...
But this was around 1984 when he was 13, so...
Okay, but what I'm saying, first off, you got to go find the car.
Right.
Then you got to look in the cars because you don't want to go in and steal a factory radio. Who the hell wants a factory radio? You want aftermarket, Kenwood, Pioneer.
But again, at that point he was in Florida and Miami, so for
a lot of high end stuff and
Yeah, it's
but it still takes some time to find a car radio.
It did, but when you're trying to survive, you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
$2,000.
But his IQ measured at 163, which is genius level, and they say that he takes the test every 6 months just so that he knows that he's still up on his stuff.
Right.
And also he said that from the ages of 8 to 12 years old, he read 3,000 books a year.
Yeah.
Some people are kind of doubting that, but he's saying that he did, and he said they were all nonfiction. So
now here's the thing with that. That if you read, how many books did you say? 3,000?
3,000 a year.
You read 3,000 nonfiction books. That's 8.2 books a day. And 3,000 books is 8.5 books a day. That's 3 hours per book. No sleep, no breaks. One library. Most libraries don't even have 3,000 titles. So if you're reading 8 books a day, 3 hours per book, that's 8, 16, 24. You ain't got time to sleep, wipe your ass, eat, go find a job.
He may have exaggerated a little bit. I mean,
I'm just saying.
But I do overall, for the things that he was saying, I believe him. So
he said at the age of 52, he runs a 4.340. You talking Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't hear him say all that. I heard him say that. And you ran a 4.3. You got to be in your teens or early 20s going to the NFL combine to run. Because Deion Sanders ran a 4.2 or a 4.1 in church shoes. And when he ran, Deion just ran right out the door, got in the limo, and took off. Okay. Now, Deion is damn near my age. I turned 63 Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Happy
birthday, baby.
To all our Capricorns. All right. So Deion's in his mid to late 50s. Deion ran this shit when he was 21, 22 years old. Cat ran a 4.340 at 52 years old. Nigga, you got to take a break when you tie your shoes at 50 years old.
Well, and he stepped on a lot of toes. And again, most of the time when that kind of stuff happens, folk usually just stay quiet, don't address it or whatever. These people are coming out of the woodworks with their responses. You got Ludacris that did the impromptu rap. And everybody's
damn stupid.
But everybody's like, that was so good.
That was
he
fucking
spit
stupid.
them bars, and he hadn't rapped in 20 years.
You never told me they didn't bust your ass cheeks, though, huh, Luda?
And you
nowhere in the rap did you say, no, nigga, you lying. They ain't bust my cheeks. I wasn't a power bottom.
And then
salute to TDJ.
Then you had Kevin Hart that came out, and he